The Banded Dual Dumbbell Hip Thrust works your glutes and a little bit of your quads. Now I'm using this bench here, but you can use a couch, a bed, a chair, anything you have that is about 12 to 18 inches. You also want to make sure that you are using the thick fabric brand instead of the rubber ones, because the rubber ones, they don't provide that much resistance, and you'll find that they slide up and down your thighs and they're really annoying to work with. So highly recommend using the fabric thick cotton bands. So I'm gonna start by placing the band 2 inches above my knees. Now, a tip that I like to use for the proper foot positioning is you're going to line your back up against the bench and then keep your arms straight out next to your thighs, put your fingertips on the ground, and where your fingertips end is where your heels should start. You want your feet to be hip width apart and your toes slightly pointed outward at a 45-degree angle. Now, something you should be mindful of is pressing out against the band with your knees the entire time. At the bottom, at the top, there should be resistance against that band the entire time. So I'm gonna use my elbows to prop myself up onto the bench, and you want the bottom of your shoulder blade to be resting on the bench, box, couch, whatever you're using. So the bottom of my shoulder blade is right about here, so I'm gonna place that on the bench, and then I'm gonna take my dumbbells, put one on each hip, and then place my hands over them like so to secure them in my lap. Now you're going to think about using your hips the entire time to do this movement. So what I mean by that is my hips are going to be dropping here, and then I'm going to squeeze my glutes to bring me to the top. Hips drop, squeeze my glutes, hips drop, squeeze my glutes, hips drop, squeeze my glutes. Now, the difference between hips versus using your back is when you go down and when you go up, you'll notice that your back starts to arch. We want to make sure that your back is staying straight and you're just stopping when you fully squeeze your glutes at the top. That should be your ending position. And then as you bring your hips down, make sure that your core stays engaged the entire time so that your back stays in a relatively neutral position. Squeeze at the top. Slow it down, squeeze. The tempo I want you to use as well is going to be holding it at the top for a good 1 to 2 seconds, 1, 2, and then slowly lowering yourself down on a 2 to 3 second count. Up, 1, 2, slowly lower yourself down. Up, 1, 2, slowly lower yourself down. Again, you want to make sure that your knees are pressing out against the band the entire time, the entire range of motion as you go up and down